Hey everybody, Chris here. So for hammer mating, what I do is I try to get the strings as level as possible. I don't go too crazy about it. And then I work on the hammers. And then first what I do is I observe if the top of the hammers are not square. I usually suspect that is the culprit, but then I also check the strings to make sure that they're somewhat level and straight. This is this tool I use to somewhat level the strings. It has a square top on there, and all three strings should vibrate against that the same height. So that's what I do to check that. Then for around the bridge pins, I use this tool to make a nice turn around the pin. And then for lifting strings, I have this one. It's a leverage string lifter. I can put it right above the A-grafts here on the felt and the strings, and then lift the strings very easily with that. Usually I use that when I'm tired of just using a regular one. So I've got both. And then this one is for, yeah, it goes up there, it's spring loaded. And this one is for going under the capo to lift strings. Can't really get under there too easily with a hook, so this pushes it up from underneath. I use these little files that I make, little tiny ones, and this is why part of this process was putting the action on the key pounder, is so I get the grooves and then I know where to precisely take off some felt if that part is high. Alright, so I place this tool approximately where the hammer strikes, and I pluck the strings. That one's touching. That one's barely touching. But they definitely don't work the same. So I'm going to lift up on the right one here. Oh, that's better. Those bass strings sure move easy. Right there. Alright, these two string hooks have different functions. The tendency of this one is to lift away from the A-graft. If you try to lift near the A-graft, it's just really hard to pull up, and so you have a tendency to want to go away from the A-graft where it's easier to lift. This one, on the other hand, it is perfect. You can lift right next to the A-graft, right where it's needed the most. Just like that. The only thing is that it's got a little bar there, and it can be a little clunky to get in there, but you get used to it. So that's the distinction between these two. Alright, checking the hammer meeting. Okay, the hammer's high on the right side, so I gotta take some off of the right side. Well, now you can see why I like the string grooves from the key pounder. Now I can take off felt exactly where I want to. This one has got to come down on the right. In fact, actually you can see how the groove is longer on this side than over here. So take some off of here and try it again. Alright, just a little bit. Now we'll see how that worked. Perfect. All right, on to the next one.